Driving in Baja is pretty crazy. There are quite a few surprises that happen.
Subscribe and follow along on our adventures.
We're Rich and Robin.
And this is our midlife van. Driving in Baja is pretty crazy. There are quite a few surprises. There's a lot of things that are different than driving in the States. Altos or stop signs are hidden sometimes. Sometimes they're on the right, sometimes they're on the left, sometimes they're a four-way stop. But even if they are a four-way stop, don't always assume that the other direction is going to stop for those stop signs. It seems pretty customary in that the locals don't stop for stop signs. They'll just maybe slow down and roll through it, or maybe not even slow down and just drive through it. Topees, are speed bumps, are pretty crazy. Sometimes there will be signs letting you know there's a topee coming up or a speed bump coming up. Sometimes there won't be a sign. Sometimes they're faux pays. So they have a sign and they look like they're going to be a speed bump, but they're just paint on the ground. And but it's just a matter of just kind of looking out for them. Assume that it is a real topee, slow down. If not, you're going to have a lot of stuff flying through the rig. And we can speak to that on personal experience. Before we got down to Baja, somebody was trying to explain to me of this left turn signal, and I just thought it was just crazy. But the explanation is if you're following somebody and you want to pass, you turn on your left turn signal, which would be normal to be able to say, okay, I'm going to pass. But you really are waiting for the guy in front of you to put his left turn signal on, because he's reading the road and he's telling you it's clear. Go ahead and pass him. Of course, my concern is like, if I see somebody in front of me with the left turn signal on, I'm assuming they're actually making a left turn, and I'm not going to pass them because that's going to cause an issue. But so I just thought that was just insane. But after driving it, it totally makes sense, because if you're behind, especially if it's a large vehicle or a semi truck, you can't see around it. You're counting on him or her to go ahead and read the road and let you know, hey, it's safe to pass. Go ahead and go around me. So it works out really well when it's used, but you're also at the same. The roads are narrow and you don't have much of a shoulder, so passing is still really critical. You have to be careful because you can't try to give too much room, to the guy you're passing. You have to be able to, make sure you're not going off the road. So.
Ooh, almost hit the railing.
Yeah, because the roads are narrow, it is crazy, because especially if they're a wide vehicle coming the other direction, they're probably hugging the line, and you're hugging the line because you don't want to go off to the right. So it's always, you're flinching all the time when somebody is passing you, especially if it's a large semi or if they have large mirrors. So it's no Dumbo mirrors. Take those Dumbo mirrors off, Dave.
Some of the towns down Highway 1 have a slightly different traffic pattern. They'll have 2 lanes each direction in the center, and then another lane on each side. So going south, you'll have 2 main lanes in the middle, and to the right of you, you'll have more lanes and businesses. The lanes to your right will make a left turn in front of you at intersections. At first, this was a little confusing, but thinking that the middle lanes are your main thoroughfare, like the highway, and your side lanes are more like the local lanes going to businesses, makes it a little easier to understand. Just be aware that when you're in the middle lanes at a stop sign, there may be somebody to your right making a left turn in front of you.
when people are saying you should not drive at night, I always thought it was just from a safety point of view of maybe having cartel or, just, people looking to take advantage of you. The largest concern is actually animals. And so, especially if it is cold, the road is going to be warmer. And so then you'll have cows or horses or any kind of animals that are laying on the road. And so then that's probably the largest concern of driving at night. But drive during the day, you'll have horses and cows just literally like eating right on the side of the road, and then they decide, you know what, I'm going to go to the other side of the road and eat right in front of you. What's really good too is you'll have other drivers coming towards you. They'll turn on their hazards, letting you know there's some concern ahead, or they'll flash their headlights. And normally I think if somebody's flashing their headlights, that means, okay, there's a cop ahead, but most of the time it is actually just, there's probably a cow or a wild horse on the side of the road. Slow down, be careful, and be prepared to stop.
What about driving dirt roads without four-wheel drive?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to read the road, but a lot of the dirt roads we're on, we have a front-wheel drive ProMaster, and we're able to navigate on those roads. If it is a lot of washboard roads, just like in the States, it's always better to air down front and rear, and that'll help just smooth out the ride. It'll help be able to, you can actually go a little bit faster and almost like float over the washboard. Obviously, you always have to read the road, because if it gets super sandy, then it's a good chance, especially if your rig is heavy, that you could sink. And so then at that point, you want to make sure you air down the drive wheels. In the case of the ProMaster, it's going to be the front, to be able to give you more traction. But we were pretty fortunate. We did a lot of dirt roads, and we only got stuck twice over the whole 10 weeks of, we were down in Baja. So not so bad, but carry traction boards or track boards, carry a tow rope just in case it gets bad and somebody needs to help you out. But it's very great adventure, but you just always should be prepared.
We have never had a problem going through any of the military checkpoints, but the one piece of advice that we were given that we always follow is to have all our valuables with us in the front. Just in case we're asked to get out, we can take them with us. This has never happened to us, but just in case, we wanted to keep everything in one handy spot. We are also prepared when we roll up to state where we've come from, where we're going, and that we're there for vacation.
Buenos dias. We're coming from San Quentin and going to Tijuana. Okay, have a good day.
Driving in Baja can run the gamut from a well-paved, newly constructed highway or road, to a narrow highway with potholes and ruts, to dirt roads and beaches. For more Baja tips, click on the link above, and don't forget to subscribe. Join us in our next video as Rich shares some of the gear we carry for going off the beaten path in Baja and in the States.